Scaloni made a surprising confession. The match against Saudi Arabia completely changed the way he sees football. Meanwhile, Messi sent a strong warning to everyone who believes Spain depends only on Lamine Yamal. On top of that, the latest comments from Bellingham and Harry Kane after England's match against France have quickly become a major talking point. Stay until the end, because there are plenty of fascinating facts you won't want to miss. Before the video begins, let us know your prediction in the comments. Can Argentina successfully defend their World Cup title? And if you're supporting Lionel Messi, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and hit the like button so you never miss the latest updates. Scaloni, facing Saudi Arabia changed the way I see football. Argentina head coach Lionel Scaloni spoke openly ahead of the dream final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. He reflected on the toughest moments and the most valuable lessons that shaped his remarkable journey as the manager of La Albiceleste. The world-class coach specifically recalled the unforgettable match against Saudi Arabia at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He emphasized that the experience completely transformed both his technical approach and psychological mindset, allowing him to lead his team with greater composure and confidence. International media highlighted the Argentine mastermind's remarks, which attracted widespread attention across both the Arab world and the global football community, given the lasting significance of that historic match for football fans everywhere. Scaloni stated firmly that the shock defeat to Saudi Arabia brought an end to his belief in superstition in football. The Argentina coach explained that La Albiceleste's historic loss to Saudi Arabia in the opening match of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar marked a major turning point in both his thinking and his mentality as a coach. Speaking calmly to the media, Scaloni said that the match against Saudi Arabia completely ended his belief in superstitions related to football. According to him, the game taught him that nothing in football is ever guaranteed or unfolds exactly as planned. Every team must always be prepared for every possible scenario. He also stressed that the experience completely changed his coaching philosophy. From that moment on, he abandoned every old belief that was not built on hard work, genuine effort, and sacrifice throughout the match. Scaloni's realism helped Argentina overcome the 2026 World Cup crisis. Scaloni explained that the shock of that opening match made him a more realistic and adaptable coach when dealing with crises and difficult matches. That change in mindset later helped him guide Argentina through several challenging moments during the 2026 FIFA World Cup with greater calmness and control. As an example, he pointed to Argentina's recent tough match against Cape Verde. According to Scaloni, many aspects of that game reminded him of the scenario they experienced against Saudi Arabia. Argentina's mental resilience and tactical flexibility ultimately enabled them to avoid major upsets in this World Cup and approach every opponent with complete seriousness, regardless of their reputation or history in the tournament. Messi, don't be fooled. Spain is more than just Lamine Yamal. Argentina captain Lionel Messi has warned everyone not to underestimate Spain by focusing only on their young star, Lamine Yamal. According to Messi, Argentina's opponent in the World Cup final has many outstanding players and a very clear football identity. During a meeting with fans in New York ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, Messi said, "Spain is not just Lamine. They have many outstanding players and a very distinctive style of play. We have our own weapons as well." Messi praised Lamine Yamal's talent, describing him as one of the world's benchmark players despite his young age. He added, "He has the opportunity to make history, but we will give everything we have to make sure that doesn't happen this time." Messi also reflected on the iconic photo of himself holding Lamine Yamal as a baby during a charity photo session in 2007. He said, "Having a photo with him when he was a baby and now meeting him in the World Cup final is truly incredible. He is one of the best players in the world today, and I wish him all the best." Argentina and Spain will face each other on Sunday at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey in the final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Bellingham and Harry Kane's comments after the England vs. France match. The following dramatic dialogue is written for storytelling purposes only and is not a real quotation from Jude Bellingham or Harry Kane. Jude Bellingham said that their tournament had just come to an end, marking their final stop at this World Cup. Playing in the third-place match was clearly not the goal they had dreamed of, and he would never pretend otherwise. But wearing the national team shirt means giving everything until the final whistle, no matter what match you're playing or how you feel before stepping onto the pitch. As he walked off the field that day, he kept thinking about the real reason they were not in the final. To him, there was only one answer: Lionel Messi. He said it honestly, without the slightest hesitation. If it hadn't been for Messi, England would have been playing in the World Cup final. In his view, that wasn't an exaggeration, nor was it an excuse for their defeat or an attempt to diminish Argentina's quality. It was simply the reality he felt after that match. Argentina are a fantastic team with outstanding players who deserve tremendous respect. But the biggest difference wasn't their tactical system or their collective quality. The difference was one 39-year-old man. He tried to stop him and pressed him with everything he had. Yet when the final whistle blew, he walked away convinced that Argentina relied completely on Messi. In his opinion, that wasn't a weakness. It was an incredibly rare strength, because the player they depend on almost never lets his team down. Everyone knows Argentina rely on one player, yet not a single team has managed to stop him throughout the tournament. England spent hours studying video footage and designing a special plan to isolate him from the ball and from his teammates, but Messi still found a way, not because their preparation was poor, but because some players simply rise above every plan designed to stop them. Harry Kane agreed with every word Jude had spoken. As England's captain, he knows what it feels like to carry the hopes of an entire squad on his shoulders and understands the pressure of always being expected to provide the solution. However, what he witnessed from Messi was on a completely different level. A 39-year-old player was doing things that many younger players in their physical prime struggle to accomplish. He left the match with one conclusion: they didn't lose to Argentina, they lost to Messi. To him, that distinction matters because Argentina without Messi can still be challenged with the right tactical plan, but with Messi on the field, every calculation can change in a matter of seconds. That's why he is so eager to watch the final against Spain. Spain represent a completely different football philosophy. They rely on a collective system where every player functions as part of one unified team, while Argentina are built around one man capable of changing everything. This final will be a clash between two completely different football philosophies. Jude Bellingham continued by saying that many people believe Argentina's dependence on Messi is a weakness, and he used to think the same before facing them. But after experiencing it firsthand on the pitch, his perspective changed completely. When the player your team depends on is Messi, that dependence becomes your greatest strength because Messi never disappears in the biggest moments. He always shows up when his team needs him most. That's why Argentina are in the World Cup final while England are playing for third place. He wasn't saying any of this out of jealousy or disappointment, but out of genuine respect. What he witnessed from Messi completely changed the way he thinks about what is possible in football. He used to believe that age placed limits no player could overcome, but Messi proved those limits can be broken when extraordinary talent meets extraordinary determination. Harry Kane then added one final point. Messi wasn't just the best player on the field against England. He also made every one of his teammates perform at a higher level. That kind of influence doesn't always appear in statistics or tactical analysis, yet it is often the deciding factor in the biggest matches. As a team, England learned a great deal from that painful experience. They learned they are capable of competing against anyone and have the quality to reach the final stages of major tournaments. But they also came face to face with something truly special, something that rarely appears in the history of football. And that is simply part of how unforgiving this sport can be. Jude concluded by saying that tomorrow he would watch the final just like every other football fan, with tremendous curiosity, because now he knows firsthand what Spain are about to face. Lamine Yamal and his teammates are an outstanding team with every quality needed to become world champions, but they are also about to face something that is almost impossible to prepare for completely. He says that as someone who has just experienced it himself. Harry Kane finished by saying that whoever wins tomorrow, the football world will witness the closing chapter of one of the greatest stories in the history of the game. At 39 years old, Messi has led his country to another World Cup final. Whether he lifts the trophy or not, what he has accomplished throughout this tournament will be remembered for decades. England were eliminated, and of course that hurts. But being eliminated by a player like Messi makes that pain just a little easier to accept because they know they didn't lose due to a lack of effort or because of fatal mistakes. They lost to something that exists beyond the ordinary logic of football. Finally, Jude Bellingham said that facing Messi was the greatest lesson of his career. He learned more from that one match than from dozens of others combined. He witnessed firsthand the difference between a great player and a true legend, and that is a lesson you can never learn simply by watching videos or training sessions. He ended by wishing everyone competing in the final the best of luck and thanking Messi for a lesson he will never forget for the rest of his career.